Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. You are watching Tarot with Kuga. Today is Saturday, January 2nd, 2021. And this brings us to a new weekly installment of our weekly guidance for January 3rd through the 9th. So let's get started. We have our Santa Muerte, Book of the Dead Tarot deck, and our first card today is, yes, I'm sitting on a leather chair, it's not me. We have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So, with the Eight of Swords in reverse, it seems like it's a stark contrast to what we drew for the beginning of the year. If you saw my yearly read for 2021, we actually have the Eight of Wands, which is about going forward with our passion, taking flight. It seems like this is quite the opposite, that, you know, we have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So what is going on here? So let's take a look at the advice of the dead. Do not be afraid, even if it's necessary, to reconsider your ideas, the commitments undertaken, or the choices made, if they are causing a continual internal storm. So it's very interesting because I think a lot of us kind of start the year off with a New Year's resolution, or perhaps we didn't. But the thing to kind of consider here is, if the choices that we have made for changes or whatnot, if it is going to cause harm, maybe it is time, maybe it's a perfect time to kind of tweak the plan. You know, like for instance, as, you know, just an example, you know, back in the day, many decades ago, I used to be a runner, and it was my passion. It made me feel good. It was my natural high. I loved it. And so, like this one particular day, I was running, and you know, at the time I lived in a very rural area, so I was actually running through along the river where there was hills, and, you know, it was very, I loved the trail. It was it's still to this day one of my favorite trails, even though my mind right now tells me there's no way in heck I can probably do that run. But nonetheless, you know, I was doing it, and I happened to be kind of like the furthest away from the point of where one of our streets, you know, the main street, I was like the furthest away from it, and I was actually followed, and it was like super scary. And you know, and so I literally, you know, I think that was probably my best run. So that was my last day of running. And I finally, you know, like I said, I've gone through a lot of health changes, some good, some bad. I'm still working on myself, but this year I decided to take up running. And, you know, and so yesterday was actually my first day. Does it mean that today I go out running? No, my body needs a rest. I'm not as young as I used to be. So, you know, I'm taking on another form of exercise. I'm going to keep the fitness going, but I'm not running. I'll start my, you know, regimen of, you know, running 3 days a week starting Monday. And so again, you know, I'm not going to go and harm myself and go full out and run every day. No. You know, maybe possibly in my mind I could, but like I say, let's just be smart about what we're doing. Take care of our bodies. So that's kind of what the Eight of Swords is about. And one of the things in this particular image versus the traditional tarot card is usually the person is kind of like bound and bound by something that they can break free of. However, sometimes I think some of the images, they have a cloth that is blinding them, so they cannot see that they can break free. So what I love about this particular card is There is nothing that is tying us up. We are free. Even though there's a storm in front of us, we can see it. Now, here's another thing that I love about this picture, even though it's still in the reverse. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all these hands that are there to fight with us, not against us. So we have support. We're not going through anything or we're not going through life alone. Even if you feel that you're alone, the universe is full of abundance and is full of support. So, you know, what you can do is call upon the source, call upon God, Creator, to provide you with the support of the angels, the ascended masters. The universe has your back. And so, again, this card, even though it feels like it's in stark contrast to the Eight of Wands, it really isn't. It's only your negative thoughts is what is your limiting beliefs, your thoughts. So let go of your limiting beliefs, let go of those negative thoughts, and go forward and go for things. And you can go back to the Eight of Wands. So let's see what additional message the universe has through God's little signpost that I love to call the moon. So we just had a full moon, and we're going into what I believe is the new moon in Leo, but we still have to get to the halfway point, which I believe happens around the 6th. So this is our 3rd quarter moon, which is quite interesting because it goes along the lines of the Eight of Swords. Adjustments are required. So with the 3rd quarter moon, you know, like I say, you've filled yourself up with, you know, the thoughts of making these changes, and sometimes they're scary. If you've already taken that first step, congratulations. But let's just make sure we are taking the right steps. And, you know, and that means cutting out the negativity from your life. Again, cutting out the the limiting beliefs, the thoughts that are holding you back. So the attunement to this particular moon is I am re-evaluating the situation. So with the teaching of this moon, it's at the time of the 3rd quarter moon, we know where we have been, but where are we going? Perhaps in our resolution, we forgot to look ahead at the vision. You know, sometimes, you know, it helps to have little mini goals to reach your ultimate goal. The moon is now a half moon and is slipping away from us as she catches less and less light, moving towards her disappearance at the new moon. It's a time following away and a time to reevaluate. No matter when you draw this card, the teaching is to release and to trust. So again, you know, the moon is also telling you to walk away from toxic situations. So this could also be part of your resolution, just moving on with positivity. So again, the specific message that I got from our moon is a win-win outcome is forecast, in which that's a full moon in Libra. So again, it's all about the positivity, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep our thoughts positive. So the attunement to the full moon in Libra, interestingly enough, is let go of that which is falling away. So again, the universe does not want you to stay in a toxic situation, whether it's you who has created it or you feel that those around you have created it. The universe does not want you to suffer. So the full moon in Libra, the sign of partnership, falling in love, and closely relating to someone else. Since full moons are about climaxes and conclusion, this card suggests you're either about to start a new relationship or an important an existing relationship is changing somehow, perhaps coming to an end or moving to a new level of commitment. But remember, it's about going towards a positive change. So the teaching of the full moon in Libra, no matter when you pull the full moon in Libra card, it encourages you to find balance between your desires and those of the people around you. Balance is a very Libran energy, and the full moon brings things to a peak. Dramas and upsets bring partnerships to the fore. Libra energy also brings love energy. Negotiations are easier. So, you know, again, having support is super important. And if you can't find the proper support from the people around you, again, God, the source, the creator, the universe, is willing to provide that support. So let's move on to our positive vibes. Again, it kind of, you know, it really does freak me out how it kind of, you know, the message repeats itself about these changes and tweaking things that aren't helpful to you and letting them go. So this card is about unraveling codependency. And where was it? It was actually on a show where I kind of heard, you know, the best definition about codependency. It's kind of like as if you are drowning, or the person you love is drowning, and you go out to save them, but at the same time, you yourself, while trying to save the drowning person, you too are drowning. So it's kind of like helping each other, but you're not. So it's food for thought on that. Only you can decide what is best for you. But the words and the vibes here is only I have to feel good about my choices. And let's do a quick repeat 3 times with the breath. And remember, as you're breathing in, breathe in the source and release the toxicity. So breathe in, release. Only I have to feel good about my choices. Breathe in, release. Only I have to feel good about my choices. Breathe in, release. Only I have to feel good about my choices. And like I say, I love my Matt Kahn. He has some awesome positivity. So when codependency unravels, you're able to move freely in the direction of your heart's desire without needing permission from others. As codependency fades, you're able to honor the emotional reactions of others as crucial stages of their healing journey without taking responsibility for them. So again, this mantra is ideal for healing family dynamics, cultivating emotional freedom, and reclaiming personal power. How about that? How about that? Reclaiming your personal power for 2021. And as usual, there's always a light worker that wants to step forward and work with us. And so I thought I would use the Keepers of the Light Oracle card deck by Kyle Gray. And who do we have? But check out the powerful image here. So we have Sanat Kumara, light activism or light activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. And you know what? The beautiful thing about when you start shining your light, you start laying out these ley lines, which is a connection, kind of like a roadmap on this world, but for light energy. And again, the more we lay out our ley lines, the more we attract the light beings to come and help us. Again, this universal support to help us bring healing to the world, which we really need. So from the guidebook, Sanat Kumara is his name, which means eternal youth, is an advanced cosmic light being who's dedicated to helping the earth rise up towards the light. He is, as far as I'm concerned, the leader of the Keepers of the Light. He's been acknowledged as a god in Hinduism and in the Mahabharata story, which has come down from the heaven bearing God's divine plan. In more recent times, and this is very important, people, there are other religions that totally, acknowledge God. So, think about that. God is for everybody. In more recent times, he has been acknowledged as coming from Venus and bringing through unconditional love. He has eyes that are made of the cosmos with the ability to penetrate the soul and activate the brightest light yet. He can seem otherworldly because his looks are beyond human. He is a being of light, shining with the purest intentions. He is a twin flame of Lady Venus. Together, they activate the heart and light of those who welcome their help so they can shine brighter than ever. So here is the extended message from the guidebook. You are here to light up the world. You may feel that you're being pushed or that there is a lot going on at once, and this is because your energy is magnetic to others and they want it in their life. Take the time to listen to your inner voice. Remember the cosmic light of heaven and draw it onto you. This is all you need to do to inspire the world. Imagine that. Just you sitting there focusing and meditating on having your light shine helps the healing of the world. Imagine that. Instead of going out there and, listening and absorbing the hate, push it back with the light that shines from within you. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to send everybody love, light, and many, many blessings. And take care of yourselves. You are totally worth it. Take care.